the way I'm beginning to look at this is like, yes, this is exactly how it feels to be haunted by God. But even though I don't subscribe to being Christian, even though I know that I don't believe in God, I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing. Because yo, that didn't go as planned. Guess who's back? It's me. Oh man, how do I work this thing? That entrance would have worked a whole lot better if I'd... I'm an idiot. That entrance would have worked... Check 1, 2. That'll do it. Back from where, you might ask? Well, I took a 2-week vacation to California because my sister is amazing and she bought me a plane ticket to go back to California for the first time in 3.5 years. I lived out there for 3 years, but I couldn't afford to fly out there. So for my birthday, my sister bought me a ticket to fly out there and go up and down the coast and visit friends. And it was amazing. She lives in Monterey, but she's moving to Montana. So I went to Monterey. I went to different places down there, Carmel by the Sea, Big Sur, went up north and visited friends, then went down and visited friends, and went to a whole bunch of really amazing places in between. But the place that was not difficult for me to revisit, but the reason why I lived there for 3 years was because I went to ministry school there for 3 years. And, well, as a lot of you know, okay, as a lot of you know my story, pastor's kid, went to ministry school, la-da-da-da-da, all this crazy stuff involved, and now, for simplicity's sake, I'm not any of that. So, well, I'm still a pastor's kid, because my dad, okay. So it was very interesting, and also super encouraging, and as well as super, like, I feel like I got closure on a lot of things. Like, since leaving religion and exploring different things and not subscribing or not identifying, however you want to say it, to being a Christian and just looking at a whole bunch of different things. Like, obviously, I still have friends that go to that ministry school and to that church, and so that's who I visited. And this was the first time them seeing me and talking to me since I've left all of that stuff behind. And I even met with my mentors that I had while going to that school. And I gotta say, it was really good. Like I said, I got a lot of closure on things, and I also got a lot of encouragement on things. But something that I was reminded of the entire time that I was there was this feeling that I've had really for the past 3 years, and I consistently have it time and time again. And I think a lot of you will be able to relate to this feeling because, I mean, this is the only way to describe it, is being haunted by God. And I realize that might be a weird concept to some of you who might still be in a religious environment, or you're still Christian, or so for the people who have left, I think they would completely understand what I'm saying, and I couldn't even really put the feeling into words until I talked to another one of my friends who we met at that same ministry school, and now he doesn't subscribe to Christianity either, and he doesn't believe in God and all this other stuff. And so how he worded it was being haunted by God. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, yes, that is exactly what I feel like every day, all the time. And I felt that especially when I was visiting the school I used to go to in California, because there's so many things that it's all in interpretation, right? It's like, is this God? Is this not God? And like, for the first 22 years of my life, like that was me. You know, I was a Christian and I was fully in it. And you know, I've only been out of it for 3 years now, and so those 22 years don't just go away. Like those mindsets are still there. Like those processes of thoughts and thinking and those revelations, or how I came to those understandings, like that's all still there. And so there's so many things that has happened to me throughout the past 3 years, and especially when I was visiting the school I used to go to. is that it's like, it's all in interpretation, right? It's like, I can see how this could be God, but wait, hold on. Okay, wait, but that's not like, so let me put it this way. When I was really deep into it, right, I did not believe in coincidence. I was like, coincidence, if a coincidence takes place, then it's God, or, New Age synergy, or whatever you want to call it. If that kind of thing happened, I was like, that's God, right? In that thinking doesn't just go away. And so I can see a lot of things. And the funny thing is, Christians will use this as an argument that it's like, see, you see God, see, he's in your life. And I'm like, no, wait, hold on a minute. Like, there's things that happen to where it could be interpreted in a different way. And honestly, it's not even like I can come up with an example of this, because it's all the little things, right? It's like the numbers you see, or the people you meet, or the people you run into, or this happening, that happening, like somebody giving you a gift of something. And it's like, before I would think like, oh, this is all God. This is God blessing me. Apparently I'm doing good things. I'm in the right place in life. And which I don't even think, now that I'm out of it, I don't think that's a good way for Christianity or any person in religious to think. But that's besides the point. That's a whole nother video. But thinking in that way consistently, for me, put on this, like, it just developed this mindset in me that God is always here, he's always around, he's always present, he's, omnipotent, omnipresent, all that good stuff. And now it's like those thoughts just don't go away. And, I've been thinking about this a lot. And ever since I heard my friend say this, like the words being haunted by God, I'm like, that is exactly it. That is exactly what it feels like to be in the place that I'm in. And ever since I heard that, it's been this thing of like, is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I mean, haunted, you think of haunting in a negative context. And maybe it is in a negative context. It's like, what do I do with this? And so being in California, like, and coming back now, I've realized, like, I have a perspective on things. And this isn't like a pride thing. I'm not puffing myself up at all. What I'm saying is that this gives me a different perspective than what some other people might not have. And so I can choose to look at it as something that's bad. I can choose to look at it as like, I feel haunted by God, like, all the time in all these little things. Or I could look at it as, I actually have a different perspective on things, and I can see things that other people don't necessarily see. And I feel like if, and I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. I know that some of you watching this are completely with me in this. But I don't think that the people who are with me in this, it's not a negative thing. I don't think it's something, now I realize, I don't think it's something to get rid of. I think it's actually like this other perspective, this other mindset that's also on top of the new place that I'm in and the new place that I'm at. It's another perspective to have, and it's something else that other people don't see. Like, there's not a lot of people that choose to walk this path and that choose to see things like this. And so the way I'm beginning to look at this is like, yes, this is exactly how it feels to be haunted by God. But even though I don't subscribe to being Christian, even though I know that I don't believe in God, I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing, because you can have this perspective and you can have that perspective, and you can see with these lenses and see with these eyes. Because a lot of people, and correct me if I'm wrong in this, because I know I have, some followers that are atheists, but seeing atheists and seeing atheists that grew up atheists, it's like they understand Christianity because they've read about it and because, they've seen other people live it. But people that grew up atheists and they're still atheists don't necessarily have that same lens to view the world by. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm not saying that that's bad in any sense. Like, perspectives on how you see the world and how you see people, the more you get, the more perspectives you have, the better you can understand people, the better that you can love people, the better that you can sympathize with people and empathize with them on where they're at. And I've just started to look at this whole thing of, being haunted by God as just another perspective, another lens to see the world through. And so I feel like I've decided in a sense, like, I'm not going to try to push that away. I'm not going to try to get rid of that. Some people could see it that way and just be like, I got to get rid of all these mindsets and everything. But it's like, if I do that, honestly, it's like a fear of mine that the first 22 years of my life have been completely wasted. And I don't think that's the case. I think that, I can't throw away everything because it's made me the person that I am today. And, this YouTube channel wouldn't even be a thing if it hadn't been for, all of that. And so I don't think, for the people who are with me and for the people who feel the same way, that they are consistently haunted by God, the way that they used to live life, coming out of religion, whatever it may be, that, don't look at it as a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Like, honestly, look at it, it's a gift. It's a gift to see things in this perspective of how you see things and how you interact with the world. And I have nothing but to be thankful for it, honestly. And that's just what I've chosen to do. So maybe in this you learned something, or maybe you just saw a different perspective, or maybe you felt like I was talking directly to you, and that exactly what I'm feeling, and you're like, yes, you finally put words to exactly how I felt all of these years. And so this video, if you learned something, great, but this video was meant to be just an encouragement to people who have been feeling that way and who feel the same way. And so if you learned something, if you like this video, please like and subscribe and share and comment below, what you think about it. Comment below your thoughts that you have for me, or just, questions. I love hearing your comments. And so in the next video, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notifications bell, because in the next video, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this thought of being haunted by God, because I don't think it just ends with the mindset. I think there is a bit more to it. And so that's going to be my next video. So subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you misfits in the next one. Peace. I got that summer